Hi, welcome to today's video. Hannah's here, if you couldn't tell. Dog's over there, in case you couldn't tell. She's being uber loud. Today, we're gonna push the couch forward in front of our TV, and we're actually gonna agree on a movie for once. That's one thing we cannot do. We can never agree on a movie. She likes action. I like comedy, romantic, like anything without action.
Like, we could agree on like a good comedy. It can't be.
I don't like action so much because it's harder for me to actually see what's going on. It's too fast.
And I don't like romantic because it's too boring. But like, if there's like
Welcome
a good
to
comedy,
our lives.
good comedy. We'll find one.
Also, Hannah thinks that we're gonna build a fort after this.
Yeah. Like, we can push the couch forward and then just like put a hidden TV in there and then just like watch it.
Also, that is totally not today's video topic, which you probably already know by the title, because you're probably like, what the heck are they talking about this for? That's nothing related to the video. It's not related to the video. We're just... yeah, what she said. So, today we're talking about disability etiquette, but disability etiquette... words. Disability etiquette is such a huge topic that we're kind of just focusing on like one little area today, being like asking someone about their disability, because there is several ways to do this wrong. Hey you, what happened to your face?
What happened to your face?
Damn.
Exactly.
Rude. Nothing happened to my face. How do you know that there's something wrong with my face?
Well, why do you think there's something wrong with my face?
Exactly. This conversation can go so many ways. So we're just kind of going to go over some ways to make it okay to ask someone about their disability, because it is okay, and most of us do like talking about it. And can you not whine in the back of this? I really don't appreciate it. I love you, but I really don't appreciate it. Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm actually here now.
Welcome. So obviously I give a very good example of how not to address your facial difference. So what is the ideal way for someone to ask you?
Well, I think that it could be like very different for different people, but me personally, I'd say just like if you know about facial differences, then maybe like approach someone who you think has a facial difference and be like, hey, do you have a facial difference? And like, if so, what is it? Because facial difference is a very safe word that you use. It's not like saying like, what's wrong with your face, or why do you look different? It's just like, it's a very safe word, so you can use it. You could also just say like, hey, you look a little different, like, would you mind telling me, because I'm so interested, like, what happened, or like, why? Yeah.
So I think definitely using the proper wording is essential, like saying like person with a disability instead of disabled person. Like just simple things like that are so important. And like if I have my white cane out, then obviously you can tell that I'm visually impaired in some way, and it's not okay to come up and go like, what's wrong with you? That is super not okay in any circumstance, regardless of whether you're talking to a person with a disability. Going, what's wrong with you is just not okay. I've definitely had people come up and they're like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, okay. Yeah. And so like when people come up to me, if I have my cane out saying, I see that you're visually impaired, would you be okay telling me about it? Like almost like asking for permission about like, are you comfortable talking about it with me?
Yeah.
Or like just addressing it as if like, don't assume that they're comfortable talking about it, even though I do know most people with disabilities are fairly okay talking about it, because unless it's someone who's like recently gone through becoming disabled, in that case they may not be as uncomfortable talking about it, which is why you should ask. Like,
yeah, and like if they like first of all get like very defensive when you like ask for permission, or like they say like no, you have to kind of like respect that and just keep your questions to yourself. Yeah. Like, don't push it. If somebody's like going through a hard time with their disability, then you shouldn't push it.
Also, so if I don't have my cane, another common question I get is, why are you squinting? And I don't think there's anything really wrong with that question. Why are you squinting? Because it's a very valid question. Like, it genuinely looks like my eyes are closed. I get the, why are your eyes closed? And then I just simply say, they're not all the way closed. I'm squinting because the light hurts my eyes, or I'm light sensitive depending on who I'm talking to. Sometimes I'm talking to like 4-year-olds and I'm like, the light hurts my eyes, or it's too bright in here. Like, I don't really mind the why are you squinting, or like why does it look like your eyes closed. I don't find those as offensive, but again, other people are always different, and sometimes just people don't want to talk about it, and that's totally fine. But there's definitely, it's basically common sense. Like, use what you think is a good way to ask. Yeah. So, same thing goes with someone in a wheelchair or using a walker of some kind. It's not what happened to you. It's, are you comfortable talking about your disability and what you went through? And even if somebody identifies as, like, hearing impaired, if they're like, I'm hearing impaired, then figuring out other ways to talk to them, however they do it, and then asking politely.
Yeah, and I think that for hearing impaired people, if there's someone who has hearing but knows the hard of hearing person, I'd say that hard of hearing people find it very offensive when you're speaking like really loud, because like that doesn't, I don't think, make them feel better. Like, if they're like fully deaf, then they're not going to hear you either way. So like, if you talk really loud, because like I've seen that a bit before, like hearing people talk like really loud and they think that the person that they're talking to can hear them, but they can't always, and it's just not polite.
It's also really funny when people find out that you're blind and then they start talking really loud and you're like, I'm blind, not deaf.
Yeah.
Also, it's really disrespectful if the person who is visually impaired has a sighted guide or support person, or same with the deaf person, if they have like an intervener with them, don't talk to the support person or the intervener, talk to the person with the disability. So don't say like, oh, can you ask them this, or can you ask them that? Like, talk directly to the person, because that's also super disrespectful in so many ways, because it almost dehumanizes the person. It makes them feel like less of a person. I can attest to that because I've had it happen to me. Where I've been with my mom and somebody has come up and, oh, how old is she? Or like, what happened to her vision or whatever. I'm like, hi, I'm right here. And like, I will literally jump in and answer the question right there, because I'm like, hi.
So I guess basically, like I guess what you're saying is like, don't underestimate the person that's disabled. Like, they can answer for themselves, and like, they find other ways to get through life, and they don't like need somebody else to like help them. Like, they're capable of like having a conversation with somebody that's different than them.
Assume that they can do it until they tell you that they can't. That's the best way to go about that. And it's kind of got off topic. Like, we were originally just like how to ask someone about their disability, but I think that pretty much covers it. Just be polite about it. Use your common sense. Like, it's not that hard. I get it if the person has like either like a mental limitation or intellectual disability or something. I totally understand that. I hold it less against them. But if you're like a normal business person off the street and you're asking me what the hell's wrong with me, I'm gonna have an issue. But otherwise, I hope that was somewhat educational, and that next time you run into someone with a disability, you're not like, yo, what happened to your face?
What happened to your face?
My face is fine.
Mine is too.
You're so pretty.
You are too. I love you.
And we love you guys. Bye.
Bye.